what happens is we have to get ourselves on a quote unquote money-making frequency. We have to realize that our programming of money's the root of all evil, and you have to screw people over, whatever it is that is your frequency, the station that you're turned into. The same way that if I'm on an AM station, I won't be able to pick up an FM station. If I'm on a poverty frequency, I'm not going to be able to pick up an abundance frequency or a wealth frequency. It's simple. It makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? Remember, the difference between myself and my desk is that we're both vibrating, but I can change my vibration. I can change my frequency. I can change the station that I'm turned into, right? So you will attract whatever vibration or station that you're turned into, and you can only listen to that one station. So if I'm on a poverty mindset, poverty station, I won't be able to get the abundance and, abundance in wealth frequency if I'm on the scarcity one. Let's go to another one. If you've been screwed over, maybe your parents divorced when you were younger and your mom talked about how all men screw you over and men are cheaters and don't trust men, or you heard her, maybe she didn't even say it directly to you. Maybe you overheard her talking to friends about it, right? And then you grow up and you get into a relationship and maybe you get cheated on. You're like, oh my God, my mom was right. You start to actually think so many times over and over and over and over and over again, men are cheaters, men will screw you over, you can't trust men. This is just an example. It could go the other way for men to women, women to men. And you keep repeating that thing over and over and over inside of your head. What's going to happen is you're eventually going to create a paradigm around that. You're going to go take it from your conscious thoughts, store it into your subconscious mind, which is going to change the frequency that you're vibrating at. And that's why so many people are like, I don't know why I keep dating men that are broken. I don't know why I keep dating men that are assholes. I don't know why I keep finding people who are screwing me over, who cheat on me. All of this stuff is because we tend to attract into our life whatever it is that is going to line up with what we believe is true. In our conscious mind, in our subconscious mind, in our paradigm, we are going to attract those things into our life. So even if we consciously, even if you're a woman out there or even a man out there that just wants a really good man, you're still going to attract the ones that are not good for you if you're always vibrating at the frequency of men will screw you over. Same way for men, for women, for all of this stuff. You can switch out all of the genders and any way that you want to. It just makes sense though, doesn't it? So the same example, if I'm a woman who wants a really good man, but I've been screwed over and my mom said things when I was younger, when a really good man comes into my life, I won't even vibe with them or be attracted to them in any sort of way because they don't line up with the reality of the way that I see the world. I'm only going to be attracted to the people who reinforce my paradigm of the way that I see the world. So that's why, someone comes in, they could be really good for them. And you're like, why don't you see your friend maybe? And you're just like, why doesn't she like him? Like he's perfect for her. Why? Because he, as a really good man, doesn't reinforce her belief paradigm consciously and subconsciously of the world of men are assholes, men screw you over, men are cheaters. Why does she always end up with those types of people? Because that's what she believes in a thought and at a cellular level that men actually are. This is what meditation's for. This is what going out and actually becoming aware of these things is for, is so you can start to reprogram yourself. You realize, what station am I tuned into? What station are you tuned into? In your relationships, in your wealth, in your business, in your life, in your thinking about yourself, what station are you tuned into? Because whatever station, if I'm tuned into 98.7 FM, I'm only going to get 98.7 FM. I'm not going to get 710 AM if I'm tuned into 98.7 FM. So I've got to pay attention to, what do I actually consciously and subconsciously think is true about money, about business, about relationships, about wealth, about happiness, about abundance, about scarcity, all of these things, because that's going to dictate where my body is vibrating at. And if something vibes with me, which is usually going to, that's called constructive interference versus destructive interference, then I'm going to actually understand that I'm only noticing and attracting things into my life that line up with the way that I actually truthfully, deep down at a cellular level, believe the way that the world is. So that's why you can consciously want success, but then you're not taking any action. That's why you can consciously want to have the best relationship, but you're screwing them all up or finding the wrong person. This is why you can consciously want to have a successful business, but you're freaking sleeping in and you're bringing the wrong business partners in. And all of these things are happening is because you have to become aware not only just of your conscious thoughts, but of your subconscious thoughts and your paradigm around all of that, because that's 95% of what you think about. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like I can't just go, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm going to change my frequency and I'm just a different person. You know, you can try to work on it every single day, but you have to realize you have to literally brainwash yourself into believing that. That's why I have an episode, that's, brainwash your way to success, or you have to brainwash yourself to change your paradigm. And that's brainwash yourself to be successful. That episode that I did talks about how you have to spend every single moment, every downtime, brainwashing yourself with what it is that you actually truly want to do in this world. So if you don't see results right away, it's not a big deal. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Just realize it takes time for you to reprogram yourself. If you're 35 years old, you've got 35 years of programming. It might take more than a couple weeks to start to switch your programming, start to switch your paradigm. And remember that we're all programmed from a young age. So our job now as adults is to go back, look at what our paradigm is, look at what our programming was from a young age, ask ourselves, does that line up with the future that I want for myself? And if it doesn't, then I need to consciously change it and also subconsciously change it, because it starts with my thoughts, which is my conscious mind. They're stored into my subconscious mind. That changes my vibration, which then changes what I attract to my life. That's why if I have a poverty mindset, once again, and a great business opportunity comes into my awareness, comes into my life, I will be like, no, it just doesn't feel right. It's not that it doesn't feel right because it's not right for you. It doesn't feel right because it's actually not vibrationally matching where you are. It's too freaking abundant for you for where you are right now. So if you want something in your life, are you tuned into it? Think about that for a second. If I want something in my life, I need to be tuned into that freaking thing. If you want something in your life, are you tuned into that station? If you want something in your life, you need to be tuned into that station so that you can start attracting it into your life. You know, the one thing that I don't like about The Secret is that it acts like, you know what, if I want to have the best relationship in the world and attract the best man or the best woman into my life, I need to sit there and I need to meditate it into my life and meditate and meditate and meditate. And eventually that man will just show up at my door. No, you have to literally, after working on yourself, after working on the programming, after diving into what your paradigm is, you have to get off your ass and actually take action. The man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams is not going to come knocking on your door while you're meditating and you're just going to attract him or her into your life. The missing piece a lot of times is that you have to actually get up and take action. Okay, I'm going to program my thoughts, my feelings, which is my head, my heart, my body, to go and find this person that I want, or to find that wealth that I want, or to find whatever it is that I want. And then I'm going to get my physical vibrating body and put it out into the world to be able to actually go find these things. That's what I always find is missing when people talk about the law of attraction, is what I like to call the law of action. You got to get your ass up and get moving. You got to do something. You got your mind, you're working on your mind, but is your body out there in the actual physical universe going where you can talk to other people of the opposite sex, right? Around people who happen to have the business that you want. So if I want to attract the perfect woman into my life, right? And I'm sitting there, if you're out there, you're a single guy and you're like, I want to attract the perfect woman. I'm ready to stop playing games. I want to attract her. If that's what you're thinking, right? You can meditate on her all day long, but she's not going to come knocking at your door. So you got to meditate, get the vibration. How do you feel about it? Are you starting to actually feel that maybe a real relationship is something that you're going to settle into? Like, is your body at that vibrational frequency? And it sounds weird. I understand the vibrational frequency and all that stuff, but you can ask yourself, do I feel ready to attract the right person? Do I feel ready to bring in the right person into my life? And you can feel in your body the relaxed state that it can get into. Then your physical body, you've actually got to leave your house, right? You've got to leave your house and go to places where you think that person might be. And what happens is, whether you realize it or not, the same way that you're vibing with somebody, they also need to be vibing with you. So you might find somebody right now and they might be the perfect person for you, but because you haven't changed your vibrational frequency, to them, it doesn't feel right. So if you work on yourself, that's why they always say, if you want to find the perfect person, become that perfect person first, because then you're going to match them vibrationally. And then it's going to be good vibes between the two of you. Constructive interference versus destructive interference, AKA bad vibes. So you can't just meditate that person into your life, right? Same way that if you want to have $1 million in your bank account, You need to program and consciously think about this money that you want to make. And you've got to consciously brainwash yourself into believing that this is actually true. But then you've also got to get out and go make the money. The money's not just going to show up and you're not going to just, ding dong, FedEx is here at your bank, or is at your front door and they just drop $1 million in cash. No, you've got to physically and mentally work on yourself so that your vibration is at the right frequency, so that therefore you go out and when the right opportunity or person or place or thing comes into your life, you go, that's it right there. That's the thing that I was working for. You might not think it's right, but it actually feels right. The reason why it feels right is because your vibration is lining up with that vibration. So when they say attract things into your life with the law of attraction, this is what it's talking about. What you think about will be stored into your subconscious. Your subconscious will change your vibration. That vibration is at a certain frequency, and you will only line up and get things that line up with that, only get things that line up with that frequency. If you think you're going to be poor your whole life, you're going to be poor your whole life. If you think you're going to be wealthy at a cellular level, deep down, you'll eventually be wealthy. It's going to come to you. If you think that people are always there to screw you over and that men are going to screw you over and cheat on you, then you're going to find a lot of those people, because those people line up with the reality, line up with the frequency that you're vibrating at. You're going to find only those people. But if you switch it around and you truly believe that the right person for you is out there, as long as you get yourself out there, that person is going to find you. You're going to find them. And when you do find, you're going to match vibrationally, which is how the law of attraction works. So I've done past lessons talking about the law of attraction, but now we're going to talk about how to actually use that in your life. And one of the things that comes down to immediately, and I want to start off before we go any further, is to tell you this. If you want to attract, quote unquote, the life you want, if you want to manifest the life you want, or if you just want to create the life that you truly want, the first thing that you need to start doing is to stop focusing on what you don't want.